when a loved one comes into your dreams. My friends, today I want to speak to you about something that touches the hearts of many, something that brings both comfort and mystery to our lives. Have you ever had a moment, perhaps in the quiet of the night, when a loved one who has passed away visits you in a dream? When their face appears so vividly, their voice so clear, and their presence so real that you wake up with tears in your eyes or peace in your heart? Many wonder, what does it mean when a loved one comes into my dreams? Is it just a memory? Is it just my mind recalling days gone by? Or is there something more? My friends, I want you to know this. Such moments are not accidents. They are not mere coincidences. These dreams remind us that love does not end when life on this earth is over. Love is eternal. Love, true and abiding, reaches beyond time, beyond space, beyond even death itself. Sometimes these dreams come as a whisper from the Lord, a gentle touch upon our souls to remind us that though we grieve, we are not alone. Though we miss them, they are not truly lost. Their love lingers, their influence remains, and their presence is not so far away. Maybe you have lost a mother who prayed for you every day, or a father whose strong hands guided you. Maybe a child was taken too soon, or a friend who walked with you in life is now walking streets of gold. But in these quiet, sacred moments of the night, when they come to you in dreams, it may be a reminder of the love you shared, the lessons they taught you, and the faith they passed down. And my dear friends, I believe that sometimes these dreams are God's way of stirring our hearts. Perhaps He is calling us to reflect on what truly matters. Life is fleeting, like a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes. But eternity is forever. The question is, are we prepared? Are we living in such a way that we will see them again? Love is eternal. It is one of the most profound truths we can ever come to understand. It is not limited by time, nor is it confined to the boundaries of this world. It reaches beyond what we see, beyond what we know, and beyond what we can even comprehend. From the moment we are born, love is the force that shapes our lives. It is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, the bond that unites hearts, and the light that carries us through even the darkest days. Love does not fade with distance, nor does it diminish with the passage of time. When a loved one leaves this world, their presence may be gone, but their love remains. It lingers in our hearts, in our memories, and in the moments we shared. We can feel it in the lessons they taught us, in the values they instilled, and in the warmth that still surrounds us when we think of them. Love is not a fleeting emotion, nor is it something that can be taken away. It is eternal, stretching beyond the limits of life and death. When we lose someone we love, there is an ache in our hearts that words cannot fully express. The longing to see them again, to hear their voice, to feel their embrace, it never truly goes away. Yet even in our grief, there is something that reassures us. Something that reminds us that the love we shared is still very much alive. It is in the way we hold on to the memories, in the way we cherish the little things they left behind, in the way we continue to feel their presence even when they are no longer physically here. Love does not end when life does. It continues to exist, to thrive, and to reach us in ways we may not fully understand. There are moments when we catch glimpses of that eternal love. Perhaps it is in a song that reminds us of them, in a familiar scent that suddenly fills the air, or in a dream where they appear so vividly that it feels as though they never left. These moments are not coincidences. They are gentle reminders that love is not bound by time or space. They are whispers from eternity, telling us that those we love are never truly gone. Love has a power that defies logic. It has the ability to cross the veil between this world and the next. It can bring comfort in the midst of sorrow, hope in the midst of despair, and peace in the midst of uncertainty. It is not something we can measure or fully explain, yet we know it is real because we feel it. We see it in the way a mother still speaks to her child long after they have passed. In the way a husband holds on to the love letters his wife wrote him decades ago. In the way a child clings to the bedtime stories their father once told. Love is the thread that connects us, no matter how much time has passed or how great the distance may seem. When we think about those who have gone before us, we often wonder where they are, if they can see us, if they know how much we miss them. The truth is, love keeps us connected to them in ways we may not fully understand. Love is not just a feeling, it is a force, a presence, a reality that cannot be erased. It continues to exist because love originates from something greater than ourselves. It comes from the very heart of God, who is love itself. And because God is eternal, love must also be eternal. It is why we can feel the presence of a loved one even after they have passed. It is why their words still echo in our minds, why their laughter still rings in our ears, why their touch still lingers in our hearts. Love is not something that disappears. It is something that endures. It is the reason why a mother who has lost a child still sings the lullabies she once sang, why a father still watches old home videos just to hear his daughter's voice, why a widow still sets an extra plate at the dinner table. Love does not fade. It does not weaken. It does not surrender to death. There are times when love reaches us in ways we never expect. It may come in a dream, where a loved one appears to us, smiling, reassuring, reminding us that they are still near. It may come in a moment of quiet, when a familiar phrase or saying suddenly comes to mind, just when we need it most. It may come through a stranger's kind words, a song on the radio, a sudden breeze on a still day. These moments are not just chance. They are love's way of reminding us that it has not left us, that it has not been taken away, that it is still as strong as ever. Love is what keeps us going even when the pain of loss feels unbearable. It is what allows us to smile when we remember, to laugh when we reminisce, to find joy even in the midst of sorrow. It is love that gives us the strength to carry on, to keep their memory alive, to live in a way that honors them. Love does not stop when life does. It simply takes on a new form. It moves from the physical to the spiritual, from what is seen to what is felt, from what is temporary to what is eternal. The love we share with those who have gone before us is never lost. It remains in the way we speak their name, in the way we carry on their traditions, in the way we continue to live the values they taught us. It is present in the stories we tell, in the photos we cherish, in the quiet moments when we close our eyes and remember. Love is not an earthly thing, it is a heavenly one. It is not something that can be destroyed, it is something that lives on, untouched by time, unbroken by distance. Some may say that when life ends, everything ends, but love proves otherwise. Love is what carries on. What bridges the gap between this world and the next, what reminds us that we are never truly separated from those we love. It is why a child still feels their mother's presence when they are afraid, why a husband still hears his wife's laughter in the wind, why a friend can still sense the encouragement of someone they have lost. Love does not leave us. It stays. It lingers. It weaves itself into the fabric of our souls, making itself known in the quiet, in the unexpected, in the moments when we need it most. Love is not bound by the laws of this world. It is not something that can be explained by science or confined to human understanding. It is something greater, something divine, something beyond our comprehension. It is why we grieve so deeply, why we miss so intensely, why we remember so vividly, because love is real, it is lasting, It is eternal. There is no force stronger than love. It is what makes life meaningful, what gives us purpose, what connects us to one another. It is what keeps us tethered to those we have lost, what reminds us that they are not truly gone. Love is the one thing that remains, the one thing that cannot be taken away, the one thing that outlives even death itself. It is the reason we can still feel the presence of those who have left this world. It is the reason we still hear their laughter, still feel their embrace, still sense their nearness, even when they are no longer here. Love does not fade, does not weaken, does not disappear. It remains strong and unshaken, a testament to the fact that love is and always will be. Dreams can be a divine reminder. They often carry messages that go beyond our understanding, speaking to the deepest parts of our hearts and souls. Throughout history, dreams have been a way for the divine to communicate with people, to guide them, to comfort them, and to reveal things that cannot always be understood in waking life. They can be moments of clarity, moments of reassurance, and moments that remind us that there is more to life than what we see with our physical eyes. There are times when a dream feels so real that it lingers in our hearts long after we wake up. A dream where a loved one appears, speaking words of comfort, offering a smile, or simply standing near. These dreams often come when we need them most, when we are struggling, when we are lost, when we are searching for something we cannot quite put into words. They come as a gentle reminder that we are not alone, that love does not end, that the presence of those we miss is never truly gone. Some people experience dreams where a loved one speaks directly to them, offering words that seem to carry a weight beyond ordinary imagination. These words may be simple, yet they feel powerful. They may be a reassurance that everything will be okay, a reminder of something important, or a message of encouragement in a time of hardship. Other times, the message may not come in words, but in presence. Just seeing their face, feeling their embrace, or sensing their nearness in the dream can be enough to fill the heart with a peace that is difficult to explain. There are those who have felt lost, burdened by grief, unsure of how to move forward, and then in the quiet of the night, in the stillness of a dream, they see the face of the one they miss. It is not just a memory, not just a fleeting thought, but something that feels alive, something that feels real. And in that moment, there is a sense of peace, a feeling that they have been reminded of something greater than themselves. Dreams have long been understood as a way that God can reach us. In times of old, he spoke to prophets, to leaders, to those seeking guidance through dreams. He revealed truths, provided direction, and gave comfort to those who needed it. And just as he did then, he can still use dreams to speak to us today. Sometimes the divine reminder is a call to trust, to let go of fear, to walk in faith even when the road ahead is uncertain. Other times it is a reminder of love, of connection, of the bond that remains unbroken between us and those who have gone before us. There are moments when a dream comes as an answer to an unspoken prayer, a response to the longing of the heart. Perhaps someone has been questioning, wondering if their loved one is okay, wondering if they are at peace. And then, in the stillness of sleep, a vision comes. A vision of them smiling, of them whole, of them radiant in a way that words cannot fully describe. These moments bring reassurance, a divine whisper to the soul that there is more beyond this life, that love is not lost, that hope remains. Some people wake from these dreams with tears in their eyes, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming feeling of connection, of having been visited in a way that defies explanation. They describe these dreams as more than just dreams, as something different, something sacred. It is as if a veil was lifted, if only for a moment, allowing them to glimpse into something beyond this world. Others may experience dreams that bring back forgotten memories, moments they had tucked away in the depths of their mind. A childhood memory, a conversation once had, a small act of kindness that seemed insignificant at the time but now carries great meaning. These memories resurface in dreams as if to remind us of the love that shaped us, the moments that mattered, the truth that love never truly fades. Sometimes these dreams can come as a wake-up call, a reminder to focus on what truly matters, to let go of bitterness, to forgive, to love more deeply, to live with purpose. They may stir something within, a feeling that change is needed, that steps must be taken, that time is too precious to waste. It is not uncommon for people to experience dreams that provide closure, that bring healing to wounds that have been carried for years. Perhaps there were words left unsaid, apologies never spoken, forgiveness never granted. And then in the sacred space of a dream, there is an opportunity to release those burdens, to make peace, to find comfort in knowing that love transcends the things left unfinished. For some, dreams are a confirmation of something they have already felt in their hearts. They may have sensed the presence of their loved one in waking life, felt a whisper of their spirit in a quiet moment, seen signs that reminded them of the connection that remains, and then in a dream it is as if those feelings are confirmed, as if they are given a gift of knowing that their loved one is still near in ways that cannot always be explained. Dreams can also serve as reminders that life is fleeting, that each moment is a gift, that love should be cherished while we still have the chance. They can stir within us a renewed sense of purpose, a desire to love more fully, to appreciate more deeply, to walk in gratitude for the time we have. They remind us that nothing in this life is guaranteed, that each day is a blessing, that the people in our lives are precious. Some may dismiss dreams as merely the workings of the subconscious mind, as random images formed by the brain during sleep. But for those who have experienced these moments, for those who have felt the weight of a presence beyond this world, they know that there is more to it than that. There is something deeper, something meaningful, something sacred about the way a loved one can reach us in a dream. These experiences are personal, unique, and often beyond explanation. Yet they carry a sense of peace, a sense of understanding, a sense that something greater is at work. Whether they come to bring comfort, to provide guidance, to offer reassurance, or simply to remind us that love remains, they are moments that should not be ignored. Dreams that carry a divine reminder often leave an imprint on the heart, something that lingers beyond the night. They remind us of the presence of something greater, of the reality of eternity, of the truth that love never dies. They awaken something within us, a longing to understand, a desire to draw closer to the source of all love, a recognition that life is more than what we see with our eyes. These dreams may come unexpectedly, at a time when we least expect them, but need them most. They may arrive in moments of sorrow, in times of uncertainty, in days of questioning, and yet they bring with them a sense of knowing, a feeling that we are not alone, that we are seen, that we are loved. For those who have experienced such dreams, they often describe them as a gift, a sacred encounter, a moment that transcends the ordinary. They wake with a sense of peace, with a renewed perspective, with an understanding that cannot be put into words. These are not just dreams, they are reminders, whispers from beyond, glimpses of a love that does not end. Dreams have long been a way for the divine to reach humanity, to speak to the heart, to bring messages that cannot always be received in waking life. They are a bridge between worlds, a connection between the seen and the unseen, a way for love to continue speaking even after life on earth has ended. They are a reminder that there is more to existence than what we know, that the bonds of love are not broken by death, that there is something beyond this life waiting for us. Memories hold meaning, They are more than just images stored in our minds. They are pieces of our past that shape who we are. Every moment we have lived, every conversation we have had, every experience we have shared with those we love is imprinted in our hearts, woven into the fabric of our souls. Some memories are joyful, filled with laughter and warmth, while others are bittersweet, carrying the weight of loss and longing. Yet no matter what form they take, memories remind us of the love we have known, the lessons we have learned, and the people who have touched our lives in ways that cannot be erased. When we lose someone we love, memories become treasures. They are the echoes of voices we no longer hear, the visions of faces we no longer see, the reminders of moments that once felt so ordinary but now feel sacred. A familiar scent, a favorite song, a phrase they used to say. These simple things have the power to bring back the past in an instant, to transport us to a time when they were still with us, to remind us that love does not end when life does. There are moments in life when we find ourselves reliving a memory as if it were happening all over again. Perhaps it is the way the sunlight filters through the trees, just as it did on a special day long ago. Perhaps it is the laughter of children playing, bringing back the sound of a loved one's joy. Perhaps it is the way a certain meal tastes, reminding us of home, of family, of shared dinners around a table filled with love. These moments come unexpectedly, yet they carry with them a deep and undeniable significance. Memories serve as reminders of the values and lessons passed down to us by those who came before. The wisdom of a father, the kindness of a mother, the unwavering support of a friend. These are things that do not fade even when the people themselves are gone. Their words still guide us. Their actions still inspire us. Their love still strengthens us. We carry them with us in the way we live, in the choices we make, in the way we treat others. There is a reason why people hold on to photographs, to letters, to old belongings that once belonged to someone they loved. These things are not just objects. They are pieces of the past that connect us to moments that mattered. A handwritten note can bring back the voice of someone who is no longer here. A worn-out piece of clothing can hold the warmth of their embrace. A favorite chair, a piece of jewelry, a simple trinket. These things may seem small, but to the heart they are priceless. For some, memories bring comfort, a sense that the love they shared was real and lasting. For others, they bring a longing, a desire to go back, to relive the moments that slipped by too quickly. There is a bittersweet nature to memories because they remind us of what once was and what is no longer. Yet even in the sorrow there is beauty. To remember is to have loved, to have been loved, to have shared something that time cannot take away. The power of memory is seen in the way people continue to honor and celebrate the lives of those they have lost. A special day is remembered each year, a tradition is carried on, a story is retold time and time again. These acts keep their presence alive in our lives, ensuring that their influence does not fade. They may no longer be with us in body, but they remain with us in spirit, in the legacy they left behind, in the memories we refuse to let go of. Even the smallest of memories can have a profound impact. A childhood lullaby, a favorite place visited together, a lesson learned in a quiet moment. These things shape us more than we realize. They become part of our story, part of who we are. And in turn, we pass them on to others, keeping the chain of love and connection unbroken. There are times when memories come to us when we least expect them. A dream that feels so real, a sudden thought that brings a smile, a feeling of presence in a quiet moment. These things remind us that love lingers, that the past is not lost, that those we miss are never truly gone. Some believe that these moments are not just memories, but glimpses of something greater. A way for love to reach across time and space. A reminder that the bonds we share are not broken by death. Memories also serve to teach us the importance of cherishing the present. When we look back, we often realize how precious those everyday moments were. the conversations over morning coffee, the car rides filled with laughter, the quiet evenings spent simply being together. At the time, they may have seemed ordinary, but in hindsight, they are the moments that matter the most. They remind us to appreciate what we have while we still have it, to love deeply, to be present, to make the most of the time we are given. For those who carry painful memories, there is still meaning to be found. Even in the difficult moments, there are lessons, growth, and understanding. Loss teaches us the value of love, grief teaches us the depth of our connections, and heartache teaches us the strength of the human spirit. The memories of struggles overcome, of challenges faced together, of forgiveness given and received, all of these shape us, molding us into who we are meant to be. The act of remembering is in itself a way of keeping love alive, speaking their name, sharing their stories, passing down their wisdom. These things ensure that they are never forgotten. The impact of a life well lived does not end when that life does. It continues on in the lives of those who remain, in the love they gave, in the memories that will never fade. As time passes, memories may shift and change, becoming softer around the edges, less sharp in detail. But the feeling remains. The love remains. The presence remains. A moment shared with someone we love is never truly lost. It is stored in the heart, where it cannot be taken away. Memories have a way of connecting us not only to the past, but to the future as well. The love that was given to us is the love we give to others. The lessons we learn from those who came before are the lessons we pass down. The values instilled in us shape the way we live, the way we love, the way we leave our own mark on the world. There is something sacred about the ability to remember, to hold on to moments that have shaped us, to revisit times that brought us joy, to find meaning in even the simplest of experiences. A single memory can bring warmth on a cold day, strength in a moment of weakness, hope when the road ahead seems uncertain. For those who grieve, memories can be both a comfort and a challenge. They can bring tears as easily as they bring smiles. But above all, they are proof that love was real, that connection was deep, that life was shared in a way that mattered. They are a gift, a lasting imprint of the people who have shaped our journey. Memories hold meaning because they remind us of the love we have known, the lives we have touched, and the moments that have defined us. They are proof that time cannot erase what the heart refuses to forget. They are a reflection of all that we have experienced, all that we have cherished, all that continues to live within us. Love never truly fades. It is a force that exists beyond time, beyond space, beyond the limits of this world. When we love someone deeply, that love becomes part of who we are. It shapes our hearts, our souls, our very being. And when someone we love leaves this world, the love they gave us, the love we share, does not disappear. It remains, woven into the fabric of our lives, carried within us in ways that words cannot always express. There is something eternal about love. It is not confined to physical presence or limited by the boundaries of life and death. When we think of those who have gone before us, we do not just remember their faces or the sound of their voices. We feel their love. It lingers in the lessons they taught us, in the kindness they showed, in the way they made us feel valued and cherished. Love does not vanish simply because a person is no longer standing beside us. It continues in the way we live, in the way we love others, in the way we carry forward the best parts of them. For many, the love of a parent, a grandparent, a spouse, a friend, or a child is something that remains present even after they have passed. There are moments when we feel their presence, not in a way that can be explained by reason, but in a way that is undeniable, a gentle reminder in the form of a memory, a sign that seems too perfect to be coincidence, a dream so vivid it feels like a visitation. These are the ways love continues to speak to us. to remind us that it is still alive. Love has a way of transcending distance, of bridging the gap between this world and the next. It is why a song on the radio can bring tears to our eyes, why an old photograph can stir something deep within us, why certain places and objects carry more meaning than they seem to hold on the surface. Love attaches itself to the moments that matter, the experiences that shaped us, and because of that, it never truly fades. Grief is often described as love that has nowhere to go, but that is not entirely true. Love always has a place. It continues to live in the way we honor those we have lost, in the stories we tell, in the traditions we carry on. It is present in the small acts of kindness we do in their name, in the way we cherish the people still with us, in the way we choose to live with meaning and purpose. Love does not fade. It transforms. It shifts from something we express physically to something we carry in our hearts. But it never disappears. There are times when we feel love's presence most strongly in the quiet moments, when the noise of the world fades away, and we are left with our thoughts, our memories, our deepest emotions. A sudden warmth that washes over us, an unexplainable feeling of peace, a sense that we are not alone. These moments are gentle reminders that love endures, that it is still with us, that the bonds we share cannot be broken. People often wonder if their loved ones can still see them, if they know what is happening in their lives, if they are aware of the joys and struggles they experience. And while no one can say with certainty what lies beyond this life, there is an undeniable sense that love does not stop simply because someone has left this world. It is felt in the way memories come when we need them most, in the unspoken comfort we receive, in the way we sense their influence in our lives long after they are gone. Love leaves an imprint. It changes us in ways that cannot be undone. The kindness of a mother, the guidance of a father, the laughter of a sibling, the unwavering support of a friend, these things shape us, mold us, leave marks on our hearts that time cannot erase. And even when those people are no longer physically here, the impact they had on us remains. We carry their lessons, their values, their spirit with us. We live out their love in the way we treat others, in the way we approach life, in the way we hold on to hope, even in the face of loss. There are moments in life when we wish we could turn back time, when we long for one more conversation, one more hug, one more chance to say the things left unsaid. But even in the absence of those moments, love remains. It does not need a physical presence to exist. It does not rely on words to be real. Love is felt in the heart, in the soul, in the quiet spaces between the noise of life. It is the one thing that death cannot take from us. For those who have lost someone, there is often a fear that time will make them fade. That as the years pass, their voice will become harder to remember, their face less clear in the mind's eye. But love has a way of keeping them close. It shows up in unexpected ways, in the things they taught us, in the ways they influenced us, in the love they left behind. A father's wisdom that still guides decisions, a mother's kindness that inspires acts of generosity, a friend's humor that brings laughter even in their absence. These are reminders that love never truly fades. Many find comfort in the belief that one day love will reunite them with those they have lost, that this life is not the end, that there is something beyond, something waiting, something where love continues in ways we cannot yet understand. And even if we do not have all the answers, even if we do not know what lies ahead, there is peace in knowing that love does not end. It carries on, it strengthens, it finds ways to reach us even when we least expect it. Love has a power that is greater than loss, greater than grief, greater than the separation between life and death. It is the one thing that remains when everything else fades away. It is what gives life meaning, what brings purpose to our days, what connects us to one another in ways that are deeper than words. And because of that, it is never truly lost. It lives on in the stories told, in the lessons remembered, in the small everyday moments that remind us of the ones we hold dear. Love is the reason why certain places feel sacred, why certain days carry more meaning, why certain objects are cherished beyond their material worth. It is why the sound of a familiar laugh can bring both joy and sorrow, why a simple phrase can hold a world of meaning, why a scent can transport us back in time. Love embeds itself in the details of life, in the seemingly ordinary things that become extraordinary because they are tied to the people we love. Some believe that love finds ways to communicate beyond what we can see or understand, a dream that feels more like a meeting than a memory, a sign that arrives at just the right moment, a feeling that is too strong to ignore. These things remind us that love is still present, still reaching us, still guiding us, even when we cannot see it. They bring reassurance, a sense that we are not alone, a comfort that whispers to the soul that love has not left us. Love is not measured by the length of time we had with someone, but by the depth of connection shared. Some people may walk with us for many years, others for only a short while. But the love given and received in that time is what truly matters. And that love does not fade, does not disappear, does not weaken with time. It stays with us, shapes us, carries us forward, even in their absence. Even in grief, love is present. Even in sorrow, love remains. It is what reminds us that those we have lost are still a part of us, that they are still with us in ways that matter, that they have left behind something that time cannot take away. Love never truly fades because it was never meant to. It was meant to endure, to carry on, to be the one thing that outlasts everything else. Faith strengthens the heart in ways nothing else can. When life is uncertain, when the road ahead is unclear, when sorrow weighs heavy on the soul, faith becomes the anchor that holds steady. It is not just a belief in something unseen, but a deep assurance that we are not alone, that there is a greater purpose at work, that no matter how dark the night, light will come again. Faith does not erase pain, nor does it remove hardship, but it gives the strength to endure, the courage to press on, the hope that carries through the storm. Faith is not dependent on what is seen or understood. It is not based on circumstances, nor does it waver with the changing tides of life. It is the quiet confidence that even in the midst of sorrow there is meaning, even in the face of loss there is hope. Even when the world feels broken, there is a greater plan at work. It is what allows a grieving heart to find peace, what gives the weary soul the strength to keep going, what turns tears into prayers and burdens into trust. There are times in life when faith is tested, when the foundation of belief is shaken, when questions arise that have no easy answers. It is in those moments that faith must be chosen, must be clung to, must be held onto with both hands. Faith is not about understanding everything, but trusting even when understanding is out of reach. It is believing that love does not end, that life is not without purpose, that there is something greater than what can be seen with the eye. Faith gives strength to face loss, to endure sorrow, to walk through grief without being consumed by it. When a loved one is taken, when the heart is broken, when the weight of absence is too much to bear, faith reminds that this is not the end of the story. There is more beyond what is seen. There is a love that transcends time. There is a promise that what has been lost is not gone forever. Faith whispers to the soul that love remains, that presence is not defined by physical sight, that those who have left this world are not lost, but only waiting beyond the veil of time. Faith is what allows a person to wake up in the morning despite the heaviness of grief. It is what gives the ability to smile again, to laugh again, to find joy, even when sorrow is still present. It is not the absence of pain, but the presence of hope. It is the assurance that even when everything feels broken, healing will come. That even when the way forward is unclear, there is a hand that guides. That even in the silence, prayers are heard. There are moments when faith feels strong, when the heart is at peace, when trust comes easily. But there are also moments when faith feels like a struggle, when doubt creeps in, when the weight of loss makes it hard to believe in anything beyond the pain. It is in those moments that faith must be chosen, must be leaned into, must be held on to even when it does not feel easy. Faith is not about always feeling strong, but about continuing to trust even when strength feels gone. Grief has a way of making the soul feel weary, of making the heart question, of bringing moments of deep loneliness and longing. But faith speaks into that emptiness with the assurance that love does not end, that loss is not final, that there is something beyond what can be seen or touched. It gives the strength to keep moving forward, to keep believing in the goodness of life, to keep loving even after loss. Faith is not about ignoring pain or pretending that grief does not hurt. It is about facing sorrow with the knowledge that it does not have the final word. It is about looking at loss and still believing in hope. It is about walking through the valley of grief with the assurance that the journey does not end in darkness. Faith does not remove suffering, but it gives the strength to endure it, to find meaning in it, to trust that even the deepest wounds can be healed. For those who have lost someone dear, faith becomes the bridge between the past and the future, between what was and what will be. It allows memories to be cherished without being overcome by sorrow. It gives the assurance that love is never truly lost, that the presence of a loved one is not confined to this life alone. It reminds that there is more beyond this moment, that there is a hope that reaches beyond the grave, that the separation of today is not forever. Faith is what turns fear into trust, despair into hope, sorrow into peace. It is what allows the brokenhearted to keep going, what gives the grieving a reason to believe in joy again. It is what strengthens the weary, what carries the burdened, what whispers to the soul that even in the darkest night, dawn is coming. Faith does not deny the reality of pain, but it offers a perspective beyond it. It is what makes it possible to see beauty even in the midst of sorrow, to find gratitude even in the midst of loss, to believe in goodness even when the world feels cruel. There's a reason why faith is often described as a journey. It is not something that is perfected overnight, not something that remains unshaken by life's trials. It is something that grows, something that deepens, something that must be nurtured and strengthened. It is found in the small moments of trust, in the quiet prayers whispered in the night, in the decision to hold on even when letting go feels easier. Faith does not mean that there will be no tears, no moments of doubt, no struggles with grief. It simply means that even in those moments, there is something greater to hold on to. It is the belief that life has purpose, that love is eternal, that there is a plan beyond what can be seen. It is what turns sorrow into a sacred journey, what transforms loss into a deepened appreciation for love, what allows the grieving heart to find comfort in the midst of pain. For many, faith is the one thing that makes loss bearable, that makes grief survivable, that allows for healing even when the heart feels shattered. It is not about having all the answers, not about never questioning or struggling. It is about choosing to believe, choosing to trust, choosing to hold on to hope even when everything feels uncertain. Faith is the assurance that love continues, that presence is not defined by physical sight, that there is something more waiting beyond this life. There is a strength that comes from faith, a strength that allows people to walk through the hardest moments of life and still stand. It is not their own strength, but the strength of something greater, something that upholds and carries and sustains. It is what gives courage in the face of loss, what brings peace in the midst of sorrow, What offers hope when the heart is heavy? Faith does not take away the pain of loss, but it transforms it, gives it meaning, allows it to become something that deepens the soul rather than destroys it. Faith reminds that grief is not the end of the story. It is a chapter, a season, a valley that must be walked through, but it is not the destination. There is joy beyond sorrow, healing beyond heartache, reunion beyond separation. There is a love that does not fade, a presence that does not leave, a hope that is not in vain. Faith is what keeps that hope alive, what carries the heart through the darkest nights, what assures that even in the midst of loss, love remains. Hope is the light that shines even in the darkest of nights. It is the quiet whisper that reminds the soul to keep going, the gentle hand that lifts the weary heart, the steady assurance that no matter how heavy the burden, there is still something beautiful ahead. Hope does not deny the reality of pain, nor does it erase the struggles of life, but it gives the strength to endure, the courage to press forward, the belief that sorrow is not the final chapter. It is the promise that even in grief, joy can still be found, that even in loss, love is not lost. That even when the road ahead is uncertain, there is a purpose beyond what can be seen. Hope does not come from the absence of trouble, but from the belief that trouble does not have the final word. It is what allows the grieving heart to find peace, what gives the suffering soul the ability to endure. It is what turns despair into perseverance, what transforms pain into a deeper understanding of love, what makes it possible to keep moving forward even when the weight of sorrow feels unbearable. Hope does not remove grief, but it gives the strength to walk through it without being overcome by it. It is what keeps the heart alive, what keeps the spirit strong, what reminds the soul that there is still goodness to be found, still love to be shared, still purpose in every breath. For those who have lost someone dear, hope is what allows memories to bring comfort rather than just pain. It is what makes it possible to cherish the past without being trapped in it, to remember the love shared without being consumed by the ache of loss. Hope does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean moving on as if nothing happened. It means carrying forward what was given, honoring the love that remains, believing that even in absence, there is still present. It is the assurance that love is never truly lost, that those who have gone before are not forgotten, that their impact still lives on in ways seen and unseen. There are moments in life when hope feels distant, when the weight of sorrow makes it hard to believe in anything beyond the pain. It is in those moments that hope must be chosen, must be held on to, must be nurtured, even when it feels like a fragile thread. Hope is not always a feeling, it is a decision to believe in the goodness of life even when it feels unfair, a decision to trust that healing is possible even when the wounds feel too deep, a decision to keep going even when giving up feels easier. Hope is the quiet resolve that refuses to let grief be the end of the story, that chooses to see light even in the shadows, that believes in love even when the heart aches with loss. Hope is what gives strength to the weary, what lifts the brokenhearted, what carries the grieving through the longest nights. It does not promise an easy road, nor does it guarantee that sorrow will disappear overnight, but it does offer the assurance that no matter how deep the valley, there is a way through. No matter how heavy the burden, there is help to carry it. No matter how great the loss, love remains. Hope is the gentle reminder that even in the midst of pain, there is still beauty to be found, still reasons to be grateful, still joy that can come in the most unexpected moments. Hope is what allows the soul to dream again, to believe in the future, even when the present feels uncertain. It is what gives the courage to take another step, to try again, to open the heart even after it has been wounded. Hope is the reason why the sun rises after the longest night, why the seasons change after the coldest winter, why the heart finds the strength to love again, even after loss. is the promise that life is not defined by sorrow alone, that there is more ahead than what has been left behind, that even in the hardest moments, there is still a reason to believe in tomorrow. For those who grieve, hope is the thread that weaves through every moment, the unseen presence that gives strength when strength feels gone. It is what allows laughter to return, what makes joy possible even in the midst of sorrow, what turns memories from painful reminders into cherished treasures. Hope does not ask that grief be ignored or pushed aside. It simply offers the assurance that grief is not the end. It is what gives the heart permission to heal, what allows the soul to find peace, what makes it possible to live fully even after loss. Hope is found in the quiet moments, in the gentle reminders that love does not fade, in the unexpected signs that speak to the heart in ways beyond explanation. It is in the beauty of a sunrise that signals a new day, in the laughter of a child that reminds of life's simple joys, in the kindness of a friend who walks beside the grieving without needing to say a word. Hope does not always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it is found in the smallest of things. A familiar song on the radio, a memory that brings a smile instead of tears, a moment of peace in the middle of sorrow. It is in these moments that the heart is reminded that life still holds meaning, that love still endures, that there is still something worth holding on to. Hope is what carries a person forward, what allows for the possibility of joy even after loss. It is not about erasing the past or forgetting what has been lost. It is about embracing what still remains. It is the assurance that love is stronger than death, that presence is not limited to what can be seen, that those who have left this world are not truly gone, but simply beyond the veil of time. Hope is what allows the heart to keep beating, the soul to keep believing, the spirit to keep shining even after walking through the deepest valleys. There is a power in hope that cannot be explained, a strength that carries beyond human understanding. It is what allows people to endure what once seemed impossible, to find light when all seemed dark, to believe in the promise of tomorrow even when today feels overwhelming. Hope does not remove sorrow, but it transforms it, gives it meaning, allows it to become a source of strength rather than despair. It is what turns grief into a journey rather than a destination, what allows loss to be a chapter rather than the end of the story. Hope is what turns mourning into dancing, what brings beauty from ashes, what restores joy where sorrow once reigned. It is what allows for new beginnings even after painful endings, what opens the door to healing even when the wounds feel too deep, what gives the heart permission to embrace life fully once more. Hope is not about forgetting or moving on as if nothing happened. It is about carrying love forward, about believing that even in loss there is still life to be lived, still love to be shared, still purpose in every moment. For those who grieve, hope is the invitation to live again, to love again, to find joy again. It is the gentle reminder that sorrow is not forever, that healing is possible, that love never truly fades. Hope is what allows the heart to open once more, what makes it possible to embrace the beauty of life even after loss. It is the quiet voice that whispers, "Keep going, there is still more ahead." It is the strength that carries through the hardest days, the light that shines even in the darkest nights, the promise that no matter what has been lost, love remains, and where love remains, hope endures. The journey through grief, love, faith, and hope is not one that can be easily explained, nor is it one that follows a straight path. It is winding, unpredictable, and deeply personal. Each heart that grieves does so in its own way. Each soul that loves holds on in its own time, and each person who walks through loss experiences it uniquely. Yet at the core of it all, there is one unshakable truth. Love does not end. It transcends time, it moves beyond the veil of the physical, and it remains alive in the deepest places of the heart. When a loved one appears in a dream, when their presence is felt in a quiet moment, when memories bring both sorrow and comfort, it is a reminder that love is never lost. The connection between souls cannot be severed by distance, by time, or even by death itself. The heart that once beat in rhythm with another does not forget. And the love that once warmed a life continues to glow in the depths of the soul. Though absence can bring pain, it can also bring understanding. That love once given is eternal. It does not fade. It does not disappear. It does not cease to be. Instead, it transforms. It deepens. It becomes a guiding force that carries through even the hardest of days. Faith becomes the anchor that holds the grieving heart steady. In the uncertainty, in the questions, in the moments of deep sorrow, faith reminds that life has a purpose beyond what can be seen. It gives strength to stand when the weight of loss feels too great, courage to move forward when the path ahead is unclear, and peace in knowing that this world is not the final destination. Faith whispers that there is more beyond the pain, more beyond the sorrow, more beyond the loss. It assures that those who have gone before are not lost but simply waiting, that love does not end but only changes form. Hope is the light that breaks through the darkness. It does not erase grief, but it gives the strength to carry it. It does not remove sorrow, but it offers the promise that joy will come again. Hope allows the heart to dream once more, to believe in the goodness of life even after loss, to embrace the future even while cherishing the past. It is what turns pain into purpose, what transforms grief into a sacred journey, what reminds the soul that even in the deepest valleys, light is still ahead. For those who have loved and lost, the journey is not an easy one. There will be days when the ache feels too great, when memories bring more tears than comfort, when the weight of absence feels unbearable. But even in those moments, love remains. It is woven into every part of life, carried in the smallest details, reflected in the laughter of a child, the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a familiar song. Love is never truly lost because it becomes a part of who we are, shaping us, guiding us, reminding us that every moment shared was a gift that can never be taken away. The presence of a loved one in a dream, in a memory, in the quiet moments of life is not something to be feared or questioned, but something to be embraced. It is a gentle reminder that they are still near, that love does not vanish, that the bond shared is unbreakable. These moments are not coincidences, but gifts, whispers from beyond that remind the heart to keep believing, to keep hoping, to keep trusting in the unseen. Loss may change life, but it does not take away its meaning. It may leave an emptiness, but it does not erase the love that was shared. The journey of grief is one of learning to carry love forward, to live in a way that honors those who are no longer physically present, to find purpose even in sorrow. It is a path that leads to deeper understanding, to greater faith, to a love that is even stronger than before. To those who grieve, know that your sorrow is not unseen, your pain is not unnoticed, your love is not forgotten. Every tear shed is a reflection of a love that was real, a connection that was deep, a bond that is unbreakable. Do not rush the process. Do not feel pressured to move beyond the grief before you are ready. Allow yourself to feel, to remember, to honor what was. But also allow yourself to hope, to believe, to find joy again. Love would not wish for a life lived in sorrow, but a life that carries its memory forward in joy. There will come a day when the pain will be less heavy, when the weight of grief will not feel so unbearable. There will come a moment when memories bring more smiles than tears, when laughter feels natural again, when joy does not feel like a betrayal of loss. That day will come in its own time, in its own way. And when it does, embrace it. It does not mean forgetting. It does not mean moving on. It means living with love still guiding the way. Life is precious, each moment a gift, each heartbeat a reminder of the love that fills it. Honor those who have gone by living fully, by loving deeply, by holding on to faith and embracing hope. Let their presence in dreams be a comfort, their memory be a source of strength, their love be the foundation upon which life continues to be built. They are not lost, not forgotten, not gone. They are simply waiting beyond the veil, cheering you on, loving you still, reminding you in every way they can that love never ends. So take heart, keep believing, keep loving, keep hoping. The journey is not over, and the best is yet to come.